Welcome back to day 3 of our Alpha rocket build. Today is one of the exciting days of building this rocket because, well, we actually get to attach the fins onto our body tube. And the reason that it's exciting to me is because we've been dealing with these piece parts, but today, by gluing those fins on, it actually starts to look like a rocket. And I just always thought that was kind of cool, looking at it going, yeah, man, it's a rocket. So before we go any further, though, what I want to do is I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. So let's dive down to this camera down here, and we're going to take a look at what we have done so far to make sure that we've prepared to glue those fins on. So the first thing that we did is we've got these straight lines. Make sure that you've got nice straight lines, and you can see the line up here towards the top and also at the bottom. Each one of those you should be able to see because we're going to use those to guide our fins on. We've also identified the one line that we should not glue fins on, and that's identified with LL, and that's the launch lug. So we are not going to glue the fins on that one. So, you could even take a little pencil and put an X on that if you want to, because we are not going to glue the fins on that one. So nice and straight, everything looks good. What we also did is we took a piece of sandpaper and we sanded down the area where the fins are going to go. We just sanded off. We didn't take off a lot of material, but we sanded that down so that we removed that waxy, shiny surface that's on the body tube. We want to make sure that shiny stuff is off because we want to make sure that the glue is going to stick to the body tube. If it's got that shiny, waxy stuff, well, glue doesn't stick to wax. So, and we know that because we're, trying to glue things on something that you colored with crayons. It doesn't work very well. So, our fins have been all marked. The root edges have been all marked. We have sanded nice and smooth and squared off the root edge, so that way we can adhere the fins onto the body tube. The reason that it's important to do all of this stuff is if you remember your force and motion unit, when we put a motor in here and we count down and we launch, we've got the thrust of this motor providing the work to push this rocket into the air. Because these rockets especially, are fin stabilized, it requires these fins to be on there to stabilize and to guide the rocket up into the air in a nice straight path. And in so doing, when this thing gains speed, the rocket goes through these aerodynamic forces. So the air passing over top of it, and especially over top of these fins, it creates aerodynamic drag. Well, aerodynamic drag is friction. You remember that from the force and motion unit. Friction does two things. It causes heat and it slows things down. So as you've got this consistent force pushing up on it and you've got increased friction trying to slow it down, acting on the fin, if you don't have the fin glued onto this well enough, that friction could just rip that fin right off. And now you've lost stability and your rocket can just wiggle-waggle through the air and, well, waggling rockets just don't look very pretty in the air, and it could be unsafe too. So we want to make sure that we're going to build these strong and so we can have a successful launch. All right, so we've got the body tube ready. The fins have been marked with the root edge. It's been sanded off. The fins are ready. I'm ready. How about you? Are you ready? All right, so let's go ahead and do this. The first thing that we're going to do today to get these fins on is we're going to take some glue and we're going to run some glue along the root. You? Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Man, where have you been? Oh, you know me, dude. I never know where I've been, but I'm here now, man. I hope you don't mind me stopping by. No, I don't mind at all, but I'm curious, why are you here? Dude, I was just driving by and I remembered that muscle video that we made a couple of years ago, and And you know, the one that you kind of needed a little bit of my help with, man. So I thought that I would stop by and see if I could help out with anything more, and it looks like I'm just in time. So, dude, is there anything I can do? Well, nothing, really. No, I don't need your help, but I appreciate you offering. Thank you. Well, what are we working on here? Dude, are you making another rocket video? Yes, I am. Oh, cool, man. I can help with that. I am down with rockets, dude. I want to help. You're down with rockets. Rockets go up. I don't even know what he's talking. I don't even know what you're talking about. Forget it. I'm about ready to teach them how to glue fins on the body tube, and I really need to get back to it. Oh, dude, you're not using super glue, are you? I heard the last time you were super gluing and you super glued your thumb to a sheet of paper, and that would have been so funny to see, dude. I am stuck on paper because paper's stuck on me. That would have been funny. Man, you're always giving me a hard time. That really hurt anyway. How did you know about that? It doesn't matter. Really, I need to get back to doing this video, and you've already interrupted me long enough, so if you're going to stay, please stand over there quietly and stop messing with stuff. Or, you know, better yet, if you can wait inside the house, because you kind of make me nervous just standing around. Dude, that's a cool shirt and all, but why are you wearing that shirt? You're not a real rocket scientist. This shirt was a gift, and I build rockets, so yes, I am a rocket scientist. Dude, so you work for NASA then? No. Oh, dude. Well, there's your sign, man. See, you're not a real rocket scientist. Yes, I am. Well, how can you be? How many successful launches have you had with this rocket? You're high flyer, huh? 0. That's why you're renaming it to Jinxed. That's different. I'm improving the original design of that rocket, and in doing so, sometimes things go wrong. You can just ask Elon Musk from SpaceX. He'll tell you the same thing. That will fly successfully the next time. You just watch and see. I know how to build a rocket. I'm sure that you do, man. I'm sure. But I want to know, what happened to the rocket that was supposed to be on this stand? Huh? It's kind of Oh, that's okay, because all rocket scientists lose their rockets, don't they? And what happened to this one when you launched it? What was it that you called this? Your fire-breathing stunt rocket? That was a very windy day when I launched that. I haven't lost it. I know right where it's at. I just haven't found it yet. And that one, that was an O-ring failure. That was not my fault. So yes, I am a rocket scientist. And I went to the Kennedy Space Center just yesterday with some friends, so there's that. Dude, are you serious right now? Dude, you went to the Kennedy Space Center as a tourist. That does not qualify you as a rocket scientist now, does it? You were just a tourist, dude. You probably even bought a NASA t-shirt as a souvenir. A tourist, dude? Seriously? Have you seen your shirt lately? Okay, enough of this. I really need to get back to my students. I am so sorry. I'm going to focus on you, and I'm going to ignore him the best that I can. Anyway, let's glue some fins on our rocket. Are you ready? All right. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some glue, and I'm going to run some glue along the root edge of our fin. Hey, that's the wrong kind of glue to use for what you're doing. This glue is just fine. It'll work just fine. Anyway, we're going to take some glue, and we're going to run this glue along the edge of our fin. So, holding our fin just like this, we're going to squeeze out some of our glue. Oh, jeez.
You're a real rocket scientist.
Shut up, man. All right, I have applied a little too much glue. Oh wow, I made a mess. Oh, it's all over the floor and my pants too, and I've got it all over the fin. Oh no, it's gluing to the tabletop. I am so sorry. I'm gonna have to go inside and clean this off. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I need to go. Oh man, dude, that was such a mess. He made such a mess of that. I can't believe. Listen, I'm going to step in here while he's cleaning up, and I'm going to do this for him, and we're going to do it the right way, okay? So ignore what he just did, because that was a disaster. And I tried to tell him that wasn't the right kind of glue. And I'm really surprised that he even used it, because this binder that he's got, man, he's got this thing organized by study guides and everything. And right here under this tab, it's like an avid binder, dude. It's like cool stuff. He's got adhesives, and he talks all about when to use Elmer's glue and when to use the better glue, and even talks about the different types of epoxies. So I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know why he was using that for this one, but it's really good to use this when you're doing something like the motor mount, because with that, you need time to be able to move that in and slide that around a little bit, and you just need that time. But when you're working with fins, this little tiny thing, you want that to stick quickly. You don't want a lot of glue for it to slip around. So we don't use a lot of glue like he did. No, dude, we use just a little bit, and we use this glue, this Tight Bond 2, this premium glue, and we only use just a little bit, okay? So, are you ready to start sticking the rocket fins on? All right, because I'm ready to show you this to you, and like I said, man, we're going to do this the right way. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first thing that I think that he's got everything set up here. The fins the body tube looks really good. I can feel that it's been sanded, so everything looks good. And dude, he even was good enough to mark the root edge of your fins. Dude, that would be horrible to accidentally glue a fin on like that, dude, when everything else is going like that. I mean, well, dude, it looks kind of cool that way too, but, well, that's not how the model is supposed to be. So we're going to stick with the instructions and how the model wants it. So, because we want to make sure that it's built right and it's safe. So, and we're going to do it because you know him. He's kind of a stickler for things, and he's going to want it done right. So, yeah, I know. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this the right way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of this glue. We don't need a lot of this glue, not like he's thinking. I mean, all we really need is just a little bit on our fingertip, okay? Just a little bit, dude. And it's just a bloopful right there. Just like, that's it, man. Just a bloopful. Yeah, that's like the scientific definition for that amount of glue, dude. That's a bloopful. Yeah, well, okay. Not really. But, sometimes I just kind of make up words, bloopful. So, okay, we're going to go with that one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that little bit of glue, and we're going to take our fin, and we're going to hold the fin kind of like what he was saying. Hold it between our two fingers here and that finger right there. And then we're going to run the glue that's on the tip of our finger. We're just going to run it down that, and we're just going to pass it from our finger onto the root edge of our fin. And just like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the close-up here of this so we can see it, and you'll actually get to see me do it. All right, so I'm going to take it starting from the tip, and I am going to start to run this down and see how the glue is starting to run off of my finger onto the root edge of that. And so I've got just a little bit of glue on there, not a whole lot. Okay, I don't need a whole lot. So I'm going to do this one more time. Okay, one more time. I'll actually do it a few times for you so you can see. All right, so I'm going to stick a bloopful of glue. A bloopful, see, on there. And actually, that's too much glue, little dude. So, but that's okay because we're going to wipe it off. So let's go ahead and we're going to run this down that line. See how I'm doing that? Running right down that line just like that. Okay, and that looks really good. And look at there, man, I got some extra glue on my finger. What do you do with the extra glue? You wipe it on a paper towel, man. You wipe it on a paper towel. You don't want to wipe it on your clothes. If you wipe it on your clothes, then your mom and dad are going to get upset with you, and then they're going to be like, "You're making a mess and ruining our clothes. You need to wear an oversized shirt when you go to school." And yeah, dude, so don't wipe it on your clothes, and be careful not to get glue on your clothes, okay? Because we don't want to get your parents upset and that. So just be careful. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we've run that down. So you see how much glue is on there? And it's just right down that root edge. All right. Now, how do we get this onto the body tube? Well, first of all, when we're putting this on, we need to make sure that we're putting it on the right end. Because that's where the rocket motor goes, and that's where the thrust is coming from. So we need to make sure that we're putting it on the right end. You don't want to put it up here on the top where the nose cone goes, because, the pointy end goes up and the fins go down on the bottom. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the base of our fin, and we're going to place it on the back end of that pencil line. We're just going to place it right there. I'm holding it, pinching it between my two fingers, and I'm resting my pointer finger right on top, and I'm going to place it over onto that. I'm just going to pivot it over. Just pivot. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at this. So here I am placing it on that pencil line. See how it's on that pencil line? And now I'm going to pivot this over, and I am watching the tip of that to make sure that it goes right down in the center of that pencil line. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold that just for a couple seconds. I'm just going to hold it in place for a couple of seconds. All right. Now if I had a lot of glue on here at this point, this fin would be slipping and sliding all over the place, and I'd be having a hard time. If your fin is slipping and sliding, then you use too much glue. You only need a little bit of glue on there, and that's it. Now I'm applying a little bit of downward pressure on that. I've got some pressure on it, but not a whole lot. I'm not using a squish amount of pressure where I'm going to crush this, but I am firmly pressing down. All right, just for a couple seconds too, right? Okay. All right. Listen, I know that it's more than just 2 seconds, but we're not really rocket scientists here, so, we don't really have to be that exact. But I know that it's a little bit more than a couple of seconds. But I think that this is good enough, okay? So I'm going to very carefully let go. And when I say carefully, I'm first going to release the pressure off of it, and then carefully move my hands away so that I don't shake it and move it around. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to look straight down the line. Okay, I'm going to look down, that line that we drew? I'm going to close one eye and I'm going to sight straight down that line, and I'm going to make sure 2 things are happening. One, that fin is perfectly straight down the line with with my pencil line, right? And it looks like it is. If it were crooked, I would see one side of the fin, or I would see the other side of it. But when I sight down that line, I am looking straight down that, and it looks perfectly straight. The other thing that we want to look at is we want this to be a shark fin. We want this to be straight up and down on that body tube, just like a shark slicing through that water. We don't want it to be like a killer whale where it's like drooping over. We want it to be straight up and down. And you know what? I see that there's a little bit of a problem here. Mine is not straight up and down. Do you see that? If you're looking straight up and down, do you see how it's a little this way? So, it's not bad, but I'm just going to bump it over just a little bit. Okay, and that's it. Okay, now what's important here now, don't go flailing this thing around. Don't be calm with it. Be gentle with it. Slow, deliberate movements. You don't want to bang this. You don't want to hit it. You want that glue to be able to adhere to it and set that up. So you don't want to be, flinging this thing around. You want to be very careful with it because it's starting to set up, and it's good. Now, we can go ahead and we can glue the other fins on it, but listen, this is up to you. If you're not comfortable, if you're nervous, you can just let this sit. You don't have to do anything more. You can just sit this and let it rest for about 15 minutes, and that's going to be perfectly fine. You can get maybe a pencil or something and prop this up. I think I've got a pencil over here because all rocket scientists have a pencil. Ooh, dude, it should be in my ear, right? Because that makes me look even smarter when it's in my ear, right? All right, so anyway, I don't know if that's a fact or not. And I'm also going to use a clothespin. I don't know why there's a clothespin here, but I must have had a bag of chips or something. So I'm going to place that just like this, right? Straight up and down. Why am I placing it straight up and down? I'm placing it straight up and down. So gravity, you remember the force and motion? We talked about the forces and gravity. See, gravity is pulling that fin straight down on top of the body tube. If I rotated this to the side and I let it set here, gravity is going to grab hold of this tip and pull the tip down, and that would not end very well. We would have a very ugly, crooked fin. And it's important for those fins to be perfectly straight up and down too. Remember, these rockets are fin stabilized, so you've got to have nice straight fins for it to go up straight. And if it goes up all wiggly waggly, well, you know, that's okay, but it's not going to go as high and it's not going to look as cool. So we want to make sure that they're nice and straight. All right, if you're nervous about this, let it sit. Give it 15 minutes. Set your timer, dude. Watch your clock. 15 minutes. Go do some math problems. Go work on a science assignment. Just glue it. You could even come in the morning, and before you get started, you can walk over, get that bloop full of glue, go zip, and stick it on and set it down, and you're golden, man. A couple hours later or a few minutes later, whenever your teacher wants, you can come back to it. Or if you're really comfortable and you want to glue these all on, let's go for it. But you've got to be careful that you're not going to bump the fin that's already glued on there. Okay? So, you ready to glue another one on? I'll show you how to do this one. All right, so I've got that one set up. Gravity is straight up and down. I have my glue. I've got the carpenter's glue here. I'm going to put, what do we call it? Yeah, man, you got it. I heard it. Bloopful. All right, I'm going to put a little bloopful on, just like that. And I'm going to run that down the body tube just like that. Oh, man, that's beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that's good. Oh, what do we do with this? That's right. We don't want to stick it on our clothes. We don't want to wipe it on our clothes because, well, we don't want to get in trouble. And don't wipe it on your neighbor's clothes either. That would not be nice of you. That would be naughty. And we don't want to do that. We got our paper towel. And we're going to wipe that on there like that. So we've got this, and we're going to place the back end of the fin on that line just like that. Let's go ahead and take a close look of what we're doing. I am going to place the back end of that fin right on the line, right on the back side of that. And then what I'm going to do, placing my finger here, I'm going to rock it forward. Oh, I made a funny rocket. Dude, that's really cool. We're going to rock it. Okay, so we're going to rock this forward just like that. And oh, look at that. See how the glue squishes out? Now remember, I'm holding it down, but I'm not holding it down with a crushing force because we don't want to crush it. We're just going to put it on there for a few seconds. Maybe 10 seconds, okay? If you want to be exact, maybe about 10 seconds. So, all right, 1, 2, 3. All right, I guess you don't want to hear me humming. All right, so that should be good enough. We've got plenty of glue on this. If we've got a lot of glue, we can take our finger and we can run the finger. Be very careful when you're running your finger across that thing. You don't push the fin over, but we're just going to push that over just like that. We're cleaning it up, okay? Because we're going to clean that up. And, my big fat fingers can't get in there sometimes, so sometimes I'll use the tip of an eraser, and that works too. We can get in there, we can clean that up. Remember, don't push on that. All right, so got that clean, it looks good. Now what do we do next? Yeah, man, you guys are smart. We're gonna look down that line, closing one eye, and we're gonna look down the line and Ooh, boy, this is bad. Yeah, this one's bad. See, this one is crooked. I can see the back end of the fin as I'm looking straight down the line. I can see the back end of that, and that's not good. So when this goes up in the air, the friction of the air is going to hit this side, and it's going to force it that way, and it's going to go up all crazy like, and it might just spin like crazy. So how do I fix that? Oh, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this fin, but I'm not going to move it up here at the top. I'm going to move it here. So I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to push it over, whoop, just like that. Now I have to push it back because I pushed too far. Ooh, I like that. Look at that. Perfectly straight. I like it. Perfectly straight this way and perfectly straight that way. All right, nice and straight. Nice good aerodynamic flow going through there, and shark fin. Dude, can't go wrong with that. And you notice how I did that without affecting the other fin. I didn't touch that other fin. Didn't get in the way of it. Okay, now I've done a few of these. Remember, if you're not comfortable, if you're nervous about it, just let it go. And you know, if there's somebody in the class that can help you with that, you can always come over and you know, I can help out with that. So don't worry, you're going to have your rocket built. That'll be good. I'm not too worried. Now here's the thing, okay? Now we can't just set this down because we've got two fins, right? We can't set it down like this because that's going to squish it and make it flat. We can't lay it like this because gravity is going to pull on those tips and pull those down. So we're going to have to store this on its nose, okay? We're going to have to store it on its nose like that. And that way gravity is pulling evenly. So we're going to set this up someplace like that, and we're just going to let it sit for 15 minutes, you know, and just let that glue start to harden and bond to those fins so that it stays good. So again, if you're kind of shaky, you know, let it sit for 15 minutes. You got math problems to do. You know, all math teachers have problems, right? So just go ask your math teacher about some of the problems that they have. They'll give you one. Anyway, all right. So we're going to glue the other fin on, the third and final fin. We're going to get that on before he comes in. He should be almost done pretty soon. So again, just a bloopful, bloop, like that. That's all you need. We're going to run this right down the fin. We're just going to deposit that right on the top of that. Please notice how I'm doing this. My fin is straight up and down, and I'm moving very slowly, just running a line of glue straight down that line. And every single time, I always have a little bit left over. And I'm wiping it on my napkin, okay, from my paper towel. I'm not wiping it on my desk, okay. So we've got that. Hey, that looks good. What we're going to do, we need to be real careful because now we've got two fins to worry about. What I always like to do is I kind of like to hold it like this so that it's resting in the palm of my hand. Just don't hit those fins though. I'm going to take the back side of this fin right here, right there, and I'm going to place it right on the back side of the body tube. My finger is on this side, and what am I going to do? Yeah, dudes, I'm going to rock it. I'm going to go ahead and rock this forward so that the tip of that is lined up right there, straight on the line, okay? Yeah, this looks good. And now I am going to, whoop, I have to do that again because I moved it. And I'm rocking it forward. All right, now I'm holding that pressure down, and I'm going to hold it there for a little bit. So about 10 seconds, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. See, dude, I counted to 10 just to prove that I knew how to count to 10. See? Yeah. It's not rocket science. All right. So I'm going to slowly let go. And and that camera shut off. So I'm going to finish it right here because I'm done. Okay, I think this is going to be great. They look really good. I think he's going to be really impressed with this when he comes in. Just remember, man, don't make fun of him because of what happened. You know, stuff happened. Oh, here he comes. Okay, gotta be serious. Serious. Hey, man, listen, I am so sorry that I had to leave. I really made a mess of my foot. I'm still peeling glue off of my skin. Dude, what are you doing? Well, dude, while you were out cleaning up, I thought that I would help out and finish the job for you, except I did it the right way, man. I used better glue, and I used this carpenter's wood glue, but only a small amount, dude, not like you did. And well, so it holds the fins much better. This is really impressive. How did you learn how to do this? Oh yeah, your notebook. Dude, this thing rocks, man. You have this thing organized by table of contents, by headings, by tabs. Man, all I had to do was look up adhesives and boom, dog, it was right there. Well, you said you were down with rockets, man. The work that you did on these fins are exquisite, man. This is really nice. They're straight, it's clean and strong too. And thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Dude, thanks, man. All right. Well, I guess that concludes our lesson for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to attach the parachute and properly pack and prepare your rocket for launch. So until tomorrow, bye. Bye. Man, this is really cool. I'm impressed. Oh yeah, man. My students are going to be so excited to launch this thing. They're going to be like, Mr. Horvath, this is cool, dude. Can we decorate this? Or can we paint it with our new airbrush? Wait a minute. Wait. Mr. Horvath? My students? Sorry, you're not Mr. Horvath. I'm Mr. Horvath. You? No, you're not Mr. Horvath, and you know that. I have keys to my classroom, dude. See? Now, don't start this again. Those are my keys, not yours. I set them there when I walked in. I'm the teacher, not you. Dude, I thought you said that you were a rocket scientist. Dude, you need to make up your mind like pronto. I'm the real Mr. Horvath, not you. No, you're not. Well, I just taught you something new, didn't I, dude? Okay. All right, yeah, you got me there. Yeah, you did. Yeah, man. There you are. Come on, let's just build rockets, okay? All right. So what do you want to build next? Yeah. This Viking kit looks really, really cool. It looks like this will be a lot of fun to build and to launch. So let's get started on this when you're done teaching them about parachutes. Okay, cool. That's a great idea. I like it. Let's do it. I'm the real Mr. Horvath, not him. Man, this is so cool. Look at us. We're actually getting along. Man, I am super stoked. I'm the real Mr. Horvath, not him. Me too. Yeah, man. Dude. Yeah, now you're talking, dude. But you still have to glue your shock cord and launch lugs on your rocket before you can teach them how to pack it, man. You forgot to do that again. See, that's why I'm here. I'll keep you straight, dude. You don't have anything to worry about as long as I'm around, dude.